Hi, I'm Sally.
And I'm Semma, and we are
The Buffy Babes. We're going to be talking all things Buffy, rewatch, reboot, and fun facts.
So let's go.
In the episode Reptile Boy, Buffy is coerced by Cordelia to attend a frat party, only to discover that the guys they're seeing are part of a creepy fraternity cult. The frat secretly worships a giant reptilian demon and has been sacrificing young women to it in exchange for wealth and success for decades. Buffy and Cordelia are drugged and chained up in the basement to be fed to the demon Makida. As Giles, Angel, Willow, and Xander rush to rescue Buffy and Cordy, Buffy manages to escape her chains and kill the demon.
Yes.
Go,
Good.
Buffy.
It has a good ending, at least.
That is one thing. That is pretty much the only one thing I appreciated about this ending is that it had, or about this episode, sorry, is that it had a good ending. Buffy defeated the demon. Justice was served.
Yeah.
Yes.
The guys went to jail.
Exactly. All their businesses failed.
Yeah, good. Cordelia is, again, the highlight, I think, of this episode on such a dark subject. Which is very helpful because I do love her character in this, and I love just everything that she says and does, and like she's trying to learn. Oh, you should laugh at whatever they say. It's just so funny, and like her trying to be nice to Buffy, like, I love your hair. No, I can't lie to you. I respect you too much.
I respect you too much.
Yeah, like she just says so many hilarious things. I just want to like sear all of her quotes in my mind because I just love everything she says in this episode. We're like sisters, but with really different hair.
Do you know what? I so like really enjoyed the Cordelia practicing her fake laugh. I found that really funny. But kind of as the episode went on, I just got a bit annoyed with her because she was playing into this kind of trope of the stupid girl who just goes along with whatever the guy's doing. She was the reason that, she dragged Buffy along to the party. And like I can understand Buffy's reason for going. So she's like rebelling against Giles and Angel and kind of how they've made her feel, and she wants to be defiant and do something reckless and whatever. But Cordelia is just going for purely selfish, shallow reasons to this frat party. And at some point you have to think, Cordelia, are you an idiot? You're 16 years old. These guys are like 21, 22. They don't have any interest in you as a person. What do you think you're doing? Like, why the hell are you doing it? So normally I totally agree with you on Cordelia about her being like, the kind of comedy side to the episode and all that. But I did find myself just getting annoyed with her decisions.
She's not very smart in this, is she? Yeah. And like pushing Buffy to drink and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then just leaving her. That's not what you do when you go to a party, especially when you're two young girls. No, that's not how you go to a party together, especially with a lot of older guys. So she was not a good friend to Buffy at all in this episode. It was purely for selfish reasons. But it helps to be a little bit lighthearted when it comes to
you do need something to try and lighten the mood, don't you?
Yeah.
This episode
I don't like how real this episode is. Yeah, it's very hard to watch. And not just is it like I felt it as when I watched it as well as a child, I suppose. It always stuck in my mind, this episode, and I feel like the lessons learned I carried through when I did eventually go to university and stuff. Like I never drank from anything that anyone would give me, and like, I'd always stick with my friends. I'd never go off with a stranger, and I did always do that kind of thing. And I feel like watching this episode was like seared into my mind of what not to do, what to look out for, because it happens, especially like, okay, so I went to America, I did a year abroad, right? And I went to a frat party, and I remember like it just feeling like a little bit creepy. Like the guys are sort of like all over you. I
Really?
luckily was with my friends. They're also guy friends, but they're all like international. So none of them were American. They were just like normal international guy friends. And we
Mm.
were just like all hanging out. And then I remember like someone saying, "Oh, did you know they have mattresses in the basement?" And I was like, "Okay, that is really creepy. We're gonna go now."
Uh,
And we left. And that was the first and last frat party that I ever went to. So I do really feel like this episode is very real in terms of like things that can happen, things that do
yeah.
happen, and it's quite hard to watch, especially as an adult. Because when you are a kid, you are like, oh, that'll never happen to me because I'll be
Yeah.
safe. And
Yeah.
but when you are an adult, you do see the realities of things, and I guess, from other people's experiences, and if, hopefully you don't have those experiences too, but those are
Mm.
your own experiences, you do learn that actually just don't put yourself in those situations at all, like not even close.
See,
It's
do you
just
know
not
what?
worth it.
Again, I I'm the opposite on this.
Oh
So
yeah?
when I first watched this, I was already at uni. So I watched it quite a bit
Okay.
later, and I was at uni when I first started watching this. And I
Mm-hmm.
still had the kind of innocence, or I suppose probably ignorance it is,
Mm-hmm.
to believe that people like that just didn't exist. Like, so I
Oh,
went to
okay.
university in Australia, and we don't really have fraternities the same way
Mm,
they do in America. So I watched this and I was just like, oh, that doesn't
mm,
happen. And again,
mm,
my personal lived experience was, I'd never had my drink spiked. None of my friends had had
mm-hmm.
their drink spiked. So I was still in this
Yeah.
kind of la la la, this isn't the real world. This is just a Sunnydale thing. This is the
Yeah.
monster thing. And it's only watching it later on, rewatching it, that I kind of realized, oh,
You're just
this
lucky.
does actually happen. Shit,
Yeah.
this isn't unusual. This isn't uncommon. This is
Yeah.
kind of the norm in a lot of ways, isn't it? And
Mm,
that's what makes it really scary and really hard and really horrible to watch,
mm,
knowing that this
definitely.
this does happen a lot.
And you don't get the result that Buffy does at the end.
Yes, exactly. You just want
Yeah.
to, yeah, you want to punch people up. You want to see
Yeah.
people get what they deserve. You want to see them punished
Yes.
for what they do. When what we know is that people don't get punished
Yeah. They don't.
at
Um,
all.
yeah. And I do feel like I want to say like this probably happens more in America, but I also don't think that's also true. I think it's just maybe more, I don't know, represented as like American culture because it's like a frat party or
Yeah.
whatever, but it doesn't mean that
Yeah.
it doesn't happen everywhere. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
whenever there's a drink around, like whenever there's
Yeah.
a party, whenever there's a group of people, like it's always something that could happen. I do feel like it's really important to actually listen to this episode, especially if you're a young girl, and listen to it and never be alone and never drink from anything that somebody gives you that's open. And I took those lessons and I feel like
Mm.
that worked out well for me. Because I've never had my drink spiked either. I knew actually a couple of people that had, but I
Mm.
personally haven't. So it's
Mm.
just really important to take care of yourself, especially if you're trying to rebel. There's certain types of rebelling, isn't there? It's like
Yes.
rebel, but stay safe.
Do
Like,
it safely. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, fine, lie to Giles and go to a party, but do it safely. Like, go with people you trust, you know?
Yeah.
Don't let people manipulate you and call you immature or mature or whatever it is. And they're still doing
Yeah.
that same grooming thing, isn't it? And like any
Yeah.
older guy that's interested in what is she, a sophomore high school girl? So yeah, 16 years old.
Mm.
It's creepy. You just have to remember
Mm-hmm.
that is creepy. If they like
Mm-hmm.
you being 4 years younger than them, it is weird. So
Yeah.
don't put yourself in that situation. So I feel like this is such a good episode if you take it for what it is and really understand that actually this is real and this can happen, then learn from it as well. And I think that's what I like about the episode, that it is very raw in showing you exactly what could
Mm.
happen, how you could easily get yourself into that situation.
Yeah.
Um, so I
So
think it's
obviously
it's
there's
represented well.
there's the Sunnydale spin on it, isn't there? Because it's
Yeah.
Buffy. There has to
Like,
be. So
yeah.
it's a demon in there, of course. but it
Yeah,
is
there might not be a
so
demon trying to eat you, but all the other bits will be
it's so
real.
so rooted in kind of in the real world, and
Mm,
kind of the dangers that are out there and the lessons that we can take from this. And
yes.
things like that are absolutely what I'm going to be teaching my daughter.
Mm,
Things to look out for, things to be wary of.
mm,
Yeah, if some old guy's hitting on you, either telling you, oh, you're so mature, or
yeah.
doing what that Richard guy did, like negging Buffy, saying, oh, when I was your age, I wasn't into adult things
Grown up
like
stuff.
drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was into grown up stuff.
Oh, it
Like,
really
just,
annoyed me when he said that.
it's, yeah, it just
Yeah.
makes me so angry seeing all these
Yeah.
things. And because that they are so real, don't you?
Yes. Because it happens. It happens all the time. And if no one's warned you about it, then it's hard to spot,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
seems like flattery, doesn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
these really rich, successful, good-looking
Yeah.
college boys are interested in me.
Yeah.
Like, ooh,
Mm.
how great! But
Yeah.
you stop and question, why are these guys interested in 16-year-old girls? It's
Yes.
not for a good reason, is it? It's
No.
never going to
They
be
should
for a
need to
good
go.
reason.
Yeah, exactly. It's pulling up to a high school. Yeah. And Angel, honestly, actually really annoyed me in this episode.
Yeah, yep.
I hate the way he treated her because I feel like it's so out of the blue. Like the last few episodes, they've been really cute. They've been holding
Mm-hmm.
hands. They've been really cutesy. And then suddenly he's like, this is a bad idea. I knew this was going to happen. Like, it's when I kiss you, it's not going to be waking up in a fairy tale. Like,
Yeah.
why is he being like that? Like,
Yeah,
what gave
where's this
him the
come
right
from?
to flip out on her? I thought it was so rude and disrespectful and sort of doing that thing of treating her like a child. Like he seems to flip from treating her like an adult, like a
Mm-hmm.
person, a respected person, to then suddenly just treating her like a child, like he just did
Yeah.
then, like grabbing her arm and stuff and just being like really controlling and rude. And it's just
And I
like,
mean,
gosh, it's a red
it's
flag.
also like his actions there are also incredibly immature. Like the
Mm,
grown up thing would have been to calmly say, hey, look, I really like you, but I've been worried about X, Y, and Z, and then
mm.
have a conversation about it. Instead, yeah, he just
Yeah,
flips out, is really rude to Buffy. And
yeah.
even before that, like Buffy was, saying to Willow, oh, I dreamt about him again last night. She was being all
Mm.
lovey and like mushy and
Yeah,
stuff. And then when you see them together, he's just so horrible to her. And yes,
yeah.
just complete 180.
I
Uncalled
know.
for, Angel, uncalled for.
Very uncalled for, yeah. So I like what Willow when she's like just shouting at Giles and Angel and being like,
Yeah,
she's
telling them
turning
off.
16 going on 40 and you look gonna live forever, you don't have time for a cup of coffee. Like
Yep,
I just love when Willow has her little moments because she does have these sometimes of just outbursts of just like telling people what's what and I really like
she
that
does.
she's growing
Yeah.
into that.
I also really quite liked Xander in this episode as well. He was like the voice of reason, and he was actually out
Mm.
there like looking out for Buffy, and
He didn't really look
sure.
out for her at the party though.
Well, I mean, he was though until he got hijacked and put in,
Yeah.
the bra and the wig and stuff, and made to serve
Yeah.
drinks. And then, but then, like, he had the plan of stealing the robe out of the rubbish and
Mm.
sneaking into the house and stuff. Like, he was actually doing stuff. He was
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
saying to Buffy, like, frat boys, Buffy, no, not a good idea. I
Yeah,
mean, he's
yeah.
still his stupid Xander self, joking about orgies
Yeah.
and stuff. But he was doing something. He was taking action, and I say points to Xander for that.
Yes. Like he was the only one speaking the truth and like but because he's just so silly, people don't take him seriously,
People
I
don't. Yeah,
suppose.
exactly. No one's going to
Yeah.
listen to him when he says, "Don't do this."
And I remember like the first few times I watched this episode because I was maybe 14 as well when I started rewatching it again. I think that's when it
Mm,
finished. Yeah, I was about 14 when it finished. So then I got the DVDs and videos and started rewatching it all again. And I
yeah.
still didn't know what orgies were until I was like at uni rewatching it. And they said orgy. I was like, what? They're actually talking about this? Like, for years I've been watching this program and I never realized what they were saying.
At
I
least
was
you
like
didn't
so
ask your
shocked.
parents what they were or something.
No, I don't think I did. I don't remember doing that, but I just remember thinking, there must be something like bad or something, or if they're talking
Yeah,
about it in
yeah.
that way. But I had literally no clue, and it's just so funny that when I finally found out, I was like, oh my God, I feel embarrassed. I was watching that with my dad.
That you had no idea all these years what they were talking
Yeah.
about.
Like it just makes me think like what was he thinking like when that came? I was like, oh, is she gonna ask me? Please don't ask me what that is.
Yeah, I cringe when I think back to moments like that of watching stuff with my parents or things that I've repeated that I didn't know what they meant.
Yeah.
And then years later, I'm like, oh God, how embarrassing. I
Yeah.
didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that was.
The innocence of a child, eh?
Yeah.
I do
But
like some of other Cordy's lines on Xander, or if you could belong to a fraternity of rich and powerful men in Bizarro World.
Bizarro World. Yeah, that was a good one.
Or like, I'm sure you'll go to college, Xander. Your pizza delivery career will take you so many exciting places. Which is
I mean,
funny
she
because he
really
does
does have
actually
some good
become.
lines.
She does.
I
She has some really good
know.
lines.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
He does that, doesn't he? Well, not exactly pizza delivery, but
no,
he does some
sort
kind
of
of food
delivery
thing, doesn't he?
stuff. He's
Yeah.
like an ice cream man for a bit.
Ice cream, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He always has like lots of odd jobs until he finds himself as a builder, which I think
Yeah.
suits him quite well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, basically the
One
whole episode
line.
was quite hard to watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
what one
I was
line?
just going to say one line that I found really like chilling, I suppose, is when
Hmm.
they're chained up in the basement. And I think her name's Callie, the other girl
Hmm.
down there with them.
Yes.
And she says one of them's different than the others, nicer. He's the one to watch out for. And she's talking
Yeah.
about Tom there. And it's just so like, oh, because you can so
Yeah.
imagine that as well, can't you?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
really,
It's the not so obvious
apparently
one that's
nice
normally
person.
the worst.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just about being safe, just don't let anyone get too close, especially if you don't know them. If they're so much older than you, that's the first
Mm,
red flag. Why are they speaking to you in the first place? Why are they inviting you to a party? Why are they trying to get you to drink? Like, there's a
yeah.
lot of red flags that could have
Yeah.
stopped any of them, but because they were young and naive and wanted to rebel, they didn't. They weren't. Logical brain was off, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the
I also
problem.
I get a bit annoyed as well that it's Buffy, like strong, independent Slayer Buffy,
Mm,
who's kind of made to feel like she needs to do something rebellious and do something stupid because of
mm,
Giles and Angel. So here you've got
mm.
like Buffy, feminist icon Buffy,
Yeah,
behaving in a way because of two men, which
yeah.
results her, being in a situation with a bunch of these other men, getting into trouble. And it's just like, I hate how much power they have over her, in all
Mm.
these different aspects. I hate how much power they have
Is
over
that thing
Buffy
because
and the way to make her feel something and act a certain way.
yeah, it's because she is still young. She's still growing. She's not confident yet. She doesn't know who she is. She's incredibly reliant on Giles to tell her who she is as a Slayer. She's reliant on
Yeah.
Angel to feel romantic and loved and adored by someone, they have very
Mm.
powerful roles in her life. So of course,
Mm.
any type of, you know, thing with them is going to make her feel bad and have no self-esteem and feel
Mm.
like she needs to do something else. Like, because I guess, her mum, she didn't, we don't see Joyce in this episode,
No, we
but
don't.
I assume she also lied to Joyce saying, oh, she's staying at Willow's or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like if she had a close relationship with her mum because she wasn't a Slayer and she was in this situation of like, someone wanting to take her to a party, I feel like she would have maybe spoken to her mum, maybe not said that she's going to go to the party, but maybe like talked about it to try and get an idea of is that the right thing to do or not? But because she
Yeah.
doesn't really have any sort of closeness with her mum, she can't rely on any sort of female figures at all. So
Yeah.
really hard for her. She's very isolated.
And I think a big part of that is that if she did try and speak to Joyce about something like that, I feel like Joyce is the kind of mum who would just flat out say, no, you're not doing
Mm,
that. Like she wouldn't try and have, a conversation with Buffy about how to stay safe or what
mm,
kind of dangers there might be. It would just be like a flat out, no, you're not allowed to go. You can't go, which then,
mm.
makes Buffy or any teenager kind of want to push those boundaries even more and then just do it
Yeah,
by sneaking around instead of having that kind of open dialogue, which I think is so
yeah,
important, but is, yeah, what's lacking in Buffy's life, isn't it?
yeah, definitely. She doesn't really have that openness with anyone that she can trust, really. So it's hard for her, and she has to feel like she has to hide things and in order to try things and feel like she has a bit of freedom, I suppose. That was the main thing in this. She needed the freedom.
Yeah,
She didn't want to be told
yeah,
what to do anymore.
yeah.
Um, and she has this again later on, doesn't she? I'm sure there's another episode of her feeling
Yeah.
like this. Oh, yeah, this was when she comes back in season 3, when she comes back after killing Angel, and Giles and Joyce are both like really
Oh,
watching her every
yeah.
second of the day, and she
Yeah.
gets really annoyed about it. And she wants to
Yep.
learn to drive, and her mum's like, "No, but I don't want you to drive because you'll drive away," basically.
Yeah.
Um, so she has this sort of confrontation again later on, but it's very
What does she do in
interesting.
that episode? She like tells her mum that she has to be with Giles, that he's pushing her really hard, and then she tells Giles that she has to be with her mum because her mum's on her back
Yeah,
about something. But what's she doing
but she's
instead? I
actually
can't
with
remember.
Angel, like making out with
Oh,
Angel
okay.
because he comes back. So she's lying
Yep.
to both of them so she can be with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, running theme with Buffy, isn't it? Wanting to live her own life, but constantly
Mm.
having other people telling her what to do.
And also, like, she does know it's wrong. Otherwise, she wouldn't have hit it in the first place. Like, she knew it was wrong to
Yeah.
be with Angel. She knew it was wrong to go to this party, but she does it anyway. And I feel like a lot of us do that when we're young because
Yeah.
we're
And
like,
also she like even when they rock up to the party, she's so unsure about going in. She says to
yeah,
Cordelia, "Oh, maybe this isn't a good idea," or something like that. And Cordelia just brushes her off and is like, "Yeah, this is going to be
mm,
a blast. Let's go." But
yeah,
Buffy doesn't want to be there, does she? Basically, as soon
no,
as they arrive, she doesn't want to be there at all. But she
yeah,
stays, either
yeah,
like to be, maybe Buffy wants to like protect Cordelia. She knows Cordelia shouldn't be there by herself, or maybe she just wants to like be accepted by
mm,
people. I don't know. But yeah, she
yeah,
stays even though she doesn't want to be there and probably knows she
yeah.
shouldn't
Because
be there.
even with the first drink, she doesn't drink the first drink. Like
Yeah,
she does know, but she just slowly, with the things that they say and how they manipulate her, she just
yeah,
slowly gives in to what's happening.
yeah.
Gosh, yeah, it's very hard to watch this one. It's just
It
like, no,
really
Buffy,
is.
no.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
just
she saves the
like
day.
being able to see all the little tactics that they have and all
Mm,
those little lines that kind of make a person behave a certain way or feel certain
mm,
things. It's just really
mm.
hard to watch and to see it out in the open like that.
And also, it doesn't really help that like a 200-year-old vampire is interested in her because then she wouldn't necessarily have the red flags to know that a 20-year-old guy being interested in her is weird. Do you know what I
Because
mean?
he's positively youthful, isn't he, in comparison?
Yeah. Like, I know technically he's 18 and he's frozen in time at being 18, but he does
Yeah,
have 200 years of experience.
yeah,
So it's still the same to me. He's still an older guy
yeah,
manipulating her, just like
yeah,
these guys are doing. So even though I do like them together because I love their love story, I don't like the fact that he's just so old. And I
yeah.
don't like
There's
the
a
fact
couple
that he
of
does
like
manipulate her a bit.
it can be quite a toxic relationship at times, can't it?
Yes, it is, yeah. Well, like Dawn says, like she was always crying with Angel because it
Yeah,
is a toxic
yeah,
relationship, just like her
yeah,
relationship with Spike was also very toxic. That's why
yeah,
Riley was the best one before he got all stupid.
yeah.
He just
Before he also
was,
became toxic.
yes, yeah, but he's her age. Like they were in the
Yeah.
same classes. Like, well, actually, he was a year older
No,
than
he
her,
was
wasn't he? Because he was
older.
a TA.
Yeah,
But only
yeah,
like a year. Like that's all right, not 200.
yeah, yeah,
And he was actually nice to her and he cared about her and did nice things to her and was never mean.
yeah.
So,
I really like the start of Buffy and Riley together.
mm,
I like watching their relationship.
Yeah, like when he makes her
Um,
that picnic and stuff. But yeah, we're getting off topic.
yeah, yeah. One thing I also liked is that at the end, Buffy apologizes to Giles and he apologizes to her as well. I thought that was really
Yeah,
nice
that
that
is
he owns up
nice.
to what he did and
Mm.
he says sorry to her for doing what he did. Angel doesn't. He just
No, he
slinks in, is
doesn't.
like, oh, I heard they do coffee here. Do you want to get a coffee sometime?
I love what she says though. She's like, "Oh yeah, maybe sometime," and
And
then just
then just
walks
walks
off.
off, yeah.
Yeah, she plays it so cool, and I wish I had once in my lifetime that I could have done that because it's just too cool. Like I've never had that option, but I wish I could
I
have
wouldn't
done
be
that.
cool enough to pull that off.
I know.
I'd
I've
just be
I've
like,
always
oh,
been,
me? Okay, yeah, sure.
yeah,
Sounds
I'm
great,
ready
Angel.
right now.
Ah, missed opportunities.
I know. But I
Oh,
wish
and I
I could
liked
have
as
done that
well
at some point.
when just before he walks up, Xander's like slagging off Angel and saying all these bad things, and Angel comes
Yeah.
up behind him and he's just like, "Oh, hey man,"
Yeah.
like zero shame, not at all bashful for
Yeah.
having said what he was just saying. I like that
Yeah.
Xander is so honest and consistent in his
Mm.
dislike of Angel. Doesn't
He's
try and
always been
hide it.
very consistent. Yeah. Even when Angel turns bad and then he's good again and comes back, like Xander has never liked
Yeah.
him. And really, that is the logical thing. Like, it is weird that there's
Mm,
this older guy constantly stalking her because it's
yeah.
weird. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, so he is the voice of reason, but because he's always the Joker, no one really takes him seriously.
And also because he had a thing for Buffy, people are just going to say,
I just
and
think he's
Buffy's just going to
jealous.
think
Yeah.
he's jealous. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is true. But yeah. So, is there any fun facts about this episode?
So, one fun fact.
Oh.
So the writer, David Greenwalt, thought he had completely invented the name Makida for the demon,
Hmm.
only to realize later he had been subconsciously inspired by Makita drills, which were used by the production crew. So he just saw like the name Makita lying
Right.
round. And
Uh,
then later on was like, oh, Makida, that'd make a good name for the demon. And you know, it's really funny. I was watching this, and my husband saw the last of it, and he was like, oh, they make drills. And I was like, huh? What? What?
that's funny. Interesting.
Oh, and
Subconsciously naming
I
stuff.
think potentially this is where they first refer to Buffy patrolling as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
The first time? This late
yeah.
on? Oh.
I think because they used to say that she goes hunting in like much earlier episodes.
Hmm. And
Um,
now they call it patrolling.
yeah, and then but then later on when there's all that stuff with is it the first? And
Hmm.
Buffy says, "I've been going out hunting," and Giles is like, "You mean
Oh,
patrolling?"
that's
And
with
she's like,
Dracula.
"No, hunting." Is it?
Yeah, that's with Dracula. When after she kills Dracula and she comes to Giles for help and says that she's been
Oh, and
hunting
she
because
wants to learn more about the first Slayer. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I remember that scene well. And also her outfit when she's wearing the white lace and the giraffe trousers. I call them giraffe
Loved
trousers.
that top.
Yeah, this is the same outfit she wears when she sleeps with Angel. I'm
Oh,
sure
is
of it.
it? The exact same
Or
one.
or either the day after, something like that. It's that same episode though. So when we get to that episode, you'll see the same outfit again. I'm sure I remember it.
Okay. Well, I'll
Mhm.
remember that because I've still been keeping an eye on Buffy outfits I like. And yeah,
Okay,
when
yeah.
she's wearing that, I was like, oh, I really like that white lacy
Oh,
top.
good, nice.
So in that episode, I'll probably be like, oh, I really like that white lacy top again.
Yeah. I also like to notice wardrobe changes during stunt scenes. So, like in the bit where she's wearing her black dress and she's wearing like chunky shoes actually at the party. But then when she's
Yeah.
fighting the reptile person, it
They
turns into flat
change.
shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
obviously, you know why. But I like to notice these things sometimes. I think it's quite funny.
I like those. Yeah. Funny little
Mm,
inconsistencies.
mm. Because you can't really fight in those shoes. They're really nice shoes, though. I actually have a pair like them.
I mean, she does fight in some pretty outrageous outfits
Mm.
and shoes, doesn't she?
I do feel like they change her shoes quite a lot because I also remember seeing one time her wearing trainers instead of some brown boots. Like
Oh,
she's
okay.
in one part of the scene, she's wearing brown boots, and then she starts fighting, and then it switches to trainers. Like I'm sure I've seen that somewhere in like season 6.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm, yeah, but yeah, it makes sense. But it's just I like to try and notice these sometimes because it's just fun to to see the differences.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, it is. The term patrolling is first used in this episode.
oh, is it? Okay,
Mm.
interesting. I hadn't noticed that, to be honest.
No, because it's something you're so used to, isn't it? That she goes
Yeah.
patrolling. But it's like, that we only find out Joyce's name in School Hard. Like, we all know she's Joyce, but apparently we don't know it
Yeah.
until season 2. We all know she
Yeah.
patrols, but that's not what they call it until season 2. So, yeah, all these
Yeah.
little
It would
things.
be interesting to rewatch this with someone who's never watched it before to see what they pick up on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm terrible for that. When I watch something for the first time, I don't
Mm.
analyze anything or like try and figure out who's the baddie or whatever. Like, I
Mm.
just sit and watch. And I'm very
Okay.
unobservant about things. It's only on rewatching that
Yeah.
I notice a lot of little things.
Oh, that's funny. I like to try and figure things out. I'm a figure outer. I
Oh,
normally know
really?
within the first like 10 minutes of a movie, though, what the sort of plot line is, because I feel like it can be quite predictable what's going to
Oh, doesn't
happen.
that ruin
So
it?
I enjoy seeing it come out. I enjoy seeing how it's presented, and I like to think about how they've thought about the storyline, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
But that's why I like really big twists that
Oh,
you'd never
yeah.
see coming. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, that's amazing. And then you can never watch that movie or thing again because you already know.
Because you know what's coming.
Yeah, you know it's coming. And then it's not the same. So things with dramatic twists like The Others. I remember watching The Others for the first time, and that
Oh,
has
yeah.
massive dramatic twist. Sorry for anyone who hasn't seen it, but it was. I can never watch it again. I've watched it now. I know what
Mm,
happens. Like
mm.
it's not as good if you try and watch it again when there's a dramatic twist like that. You don't feel
I'm
the
trying to think, are
same.
there any big, like really big twists in Buffy? I mean, things that people die that you don't expect to die.
Yes. Or even things like, Angel turning bad, that's quite a big twist that you don't know is going to happen.
Yeah, true,
Like them
true.
sleeping together and then suddenly he's evil. Like that's quite a good twist.
Yeah.
But that's something I can watch because it's good.
Yeah. And it'll happen soon.
Yeah, yeah. So, or people being evil that you didn't think were evil. And yeah, I think there is
Mm.
some good twists like that in Buffy. But then you can sort of watch it back knowing, I know you're the bad one. So, like in this episode, like when probably the first ever time I didn't realize Tom was the bad one, because he's so
Oh,
nice.
yeah, yeah,
But when you rewatch it again, you're like watching it from the start, like, oh, he's so creepy, he's so horrible. Like,
yeah,
don't
yeah,
listen to him, close your
absolutely.
ears.
Yeah, he's too
Yeah,
smooth. He knows what he's
yeah,
saying.
yeah, exactly. So I don't have any updates for any Buffy reboot stuff.
No, nor do I. It's been quiet
No,
again.
it's been quiet. Yeah, I think it's going to be quiet for a bit longer, isn't it?
Mm,
Because they're probably watching the pilot, sorting stuff. If they're gonna re-record anything, it's
writing new
still,
episodes.
yeah. If it went well, I suppose. So I guess
I
they're
mean,
not really
presumably
going
they have some kind of like overall plot that they know is going to happen in this
to.
in New Sunnydale, don't they?
Yeah, they must
They must
do.
know how many episodes, general plot, and I guess what happens in each episode without having like proper. I mean, I don't know.
Or
I just
maybe
don't
just at
know.
least overarching theme of what would happen, like the bigger picture plot, and
Yeah.
within that you have like the smaller episode plots, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So maybe they're still working all that out. I feel like we'll find out some more things in maybe a couple of months. I feel like every 3 months they might come up with stuff to keep people interested.
Hmm.
But
Just remind
because
everyone that it's still coming.
yeah, exactly,
Stay
yeah,
stay on board. Just wait
yeah.
for it.
Well, we're waiting. We're waiting.
We're waiting. And while we're
Yeah.
waiting, the next episode is Halloween.
Love this episode.
Mm.
This is
Hmm.
such a good episode. Obviously, any episode with Spike is really good, but I just love this one so much. Everything about it. I can't wait to rewatch it, actually. It's
And
gonna be so good.
like this episode was quite heavy to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we actually postponed it for a week because I I couldn't talk about it and stuff.
Yeah, I've honestly found it very hard to watch as well. And yeah, so
So Halloween will be a nice change. Good to
very
talk
nice
about.
change.
Fun to
Way more
watch.
Sunnydale, way more
Yeah.
like light-hearted, I suppose, in terms of not really having real world problems.
Yeah.
And I like that. I don't like things when things are too real. That's why I don't watch documentaries and stuff. I like to watch
Oh,
supernatural
absolutely.
shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantasy all the way.
Yes, exactly. Okay, well, I can't wait to chat about Halloween with you next week, Sally.
See you then.
Bye. What did you think of this episode?
Let us know in the comments below.
Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next week.
We're not just saying, we're slaying.
We are the Buffy Babes.